how you doing here? Okay. Salute, y'all. Yo. It's your boy Hardwell. Tapping in. We're gonna talk some Knicks talk. Let's let some people get in here. Let's let some people get in here. What's good though? We're gonna talk about some Knicks stuff today. What else we gonna talk about? Dallas played a good game last night, beat the Wolves. Hold on, let me get some more light in here. Get a little more light. So Dallas beat the Wolves. Let me pull up. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Hardwell. Let's let some more people come in. Let people know we live. I need to cut this light on right here. Give us some more light. Yeah, give us some more light. But yeah, we're gonna talk about NBA playoffs. We're gonna jump into some of the Knicks. Should they draft someone out the draft coming up? It's a lot of talent in this draft, I think. It's a lot of talent in this draft. A lot of guys didn't have great seasons in college. Was projected to go higher in the draft than they are projected to go now. And those players may still be decent players. Sometimes players go to the wrong school. And that's why you see some players that didn't do well in college actually still have decent draft positioning, still lottery. Some players are still lottery, and they went home earlier than a lot of players. You know what I'm saying? They was expected, like Kentucky. Kentucky lost the first game, something like that. Yeah. The kid hit like 9 or 8 threes on Kentucky. But you still see Rob, and Reed still high draft picks, top draft picks. So they're not really worried about that too much, which I don't think is something that they should be doing. They should be looking at that carefully. How could a kid be so good, but he can't make his team play better? So it's a lot of stuff with that. But yeah, last night game. Let's talk about the Mavs real quick and the Wolves. Anthony Edwards had a decent game. Let's look at some of the stats. I like his style when it comes to, like, win or lose, he keeps the same composure. He stays confident, even though there's no team ever came back from being down by this many games. Which, it's looking like Boston, Dallas in the finals. To me, it's looking that way. So it's looking to me, y'all. What y'all think? Salute everybody in the chat. Now, share the show. Let everybody know we live. But yeah, it was a good game. Kyrie is really showing up. Like, he had a big shot in the corner in the fourth quarter on Karl Anthony Towns. They could have called the foul. Kyrie is just playing good basketball, and I think to the fact of that he's older now and he don't mind. They asked him even about being like the second option on the Wolves, and he was saying like, at this point in my career, none of that really matters to me. And I understood where he was coming from, but in that perspective, right, that make players play better basketball, because when you put your ego aside and go to a team and just play ball, and just because you're not the number one, you still can look good by doing that. And that's basically what Kyrie did. I'm saying he put his ego aside and went over there. And Luka too, man. You gotta give Luka Doncic credit too for that, because so many different players came over there, and it's hard to combine and how the game is. But I give Luka credit because he throw a lot of alley-oops. And I'm not saying all the time, because some people get caught up on the games that they see when it's more games that Luka played in that they didn't see. So I like to try to be fair. But Doncic is passing the ball very well. He used to hold the ball a lot, and that was a problem with a lot of players. But I think now he's just getting better. He's getting older. He's still very young. And, when you're such a threat, you draw so much defense. And it's like I said about Julius Randle, when people were saying how he looked when he played with R.J. Barrett and those guys. It's not that R.J. Barrett and those guys aren't good players. They just didn't mesh well together. You have to mesh well. And that's why the Villanova boys are meshing well together. You have to mesh well. You know what I'm saying? So Luka and Kyrie meshing well, and they don't have an ego to where he's cool with Luka being who he is and coming along and helping and taking over when necessary. That's like, a B option. And sometimes players don't like that, and they don't give 100% on defense, rebounding, and other ways to help your team win. And I think that's the thing with Dallas. Another thing I want to give Dallas credit for. Dallas Mavericks went out and got great role players. They got Jones, the high-flying Jones, who now has a three-point shot. He never had a three-point shot. He was known as a defender and a dunker. Remember the guy from the dunk contest. They went out and got Gafford, a shot blocker, rim protector, high flyer, catch alley-oops, and he played his position. He don't cry about the ball, or he finds other ways to contribute to help his team win. See what I'm saying? They did the Knicks dirty when they what do you call it? They tanked or whatever they did. We were supposed to get their pick. They tanked. They lost the game on purpose. The NBA didn't do nothing about it. They went, kept their pick, and they got Lively. That's another very good player. That's Lively. Who am I leaving out? There's a couple more. They got Hardaway over there, which always somehow remains to stay solid. Somehow, I don't know. Hardaway somehow remains to stay a decent player. He'll hit a shot. He'll make a play. I watched the playoffs. He helped them in a couple games and came off the bench and played pretty good. They actually even got one of the Morris twins on their bench. So they got the muscle. Who I'm leaving out. A lot of good players on Dallas, man. Shout out to those guys. They might have a chance to win in the ring. Luka and Kyrie may get another ring. Can the Celtics prevail and beat? That's going to be a good one. Can they beat the Mavs? Write in the chat who you got and who you think is going to win. Even if you're on the live, if you watch it after, write in the chat and let me know who you got. Also, subscribe. If you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and the like button. But But yeah, who you got in that series? It's going to be a very good series. Boston started playing better basketball than the past couple of games. I can be honest about that. Boston started playing some good basketball. Dallas been playing good basketball. They came out of a tougher conference. You know, the Western Conference happened to just be tougher this year, which most of the time it is. The Pacers were a 6 seed. Unfortunately, the Knicks and Boston may have been a better series, especially with Halliburton going down. But I think injury is just a part of what happens in the league. And you have to have players that are next man up mentality. So it's like they all professionals, and being that he played behind this guy, he should be ready to step right up. Like Nimrod, for example. Nimrod from the Pacers. Halliburton went down, and Nimrod stepped in and had a 30-point game the first night and had like 20-something, maybe 30 last night, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure of the score. I'm trying to pull up the score right now. Yeah. So, yeah, man, that's some good basketball. We got to be honest. Just because if your team isn't in it, you still have to be honest about, you know, what we watching. And honestly, it's some good basketball. Refs is doing a good job. Happy to see Kyrie get another chance to do his thing. Because Kyrie went through a lot last year. A lot of scrutiny through the whole COVID situation, and he didn't want to play in Brooklyn, and they tried to build a super team and all that stuff. You know, it's a lot. And like when I listened to Kyrie in the press conference, he was saying, you know, coming to Dallas was a breath of fresh air. And when you come to New York, whether it's the Knicks or Brooklyn, media is going to be on your neck. That's just part of the game. I'm saying if you ain't built for it, don't come. If you don't have thick skin, go somewhere else. Like if you one of them people, shout out Dripmore, what's good, fam? If you one of them people, right, that take things personal as soon as somebody says something to you, get you upset, don't come to one of them teams. I mean, any NBA team, you're gonna have to deal with media anyway. That's part of your obligation. So be smart. You know what I mean? There's no way you're just gonna be able to go play basketball. Now they got podcasts and everybody got an opinion. So, you know, you gotta try to play without the distraction. That's the key. Once you start reading the blogs and caring what people say, then you're gonna try to play kind of according to what people say, and that's not good. So come to New York, you gotta have thick skin. Look at KD. And then LeBron might be moving around again. I say for the Knicks, don't add one of them old guys, bro. If you listening or if you watch, write in the chat if you want LeBron on the Knicks. And remember, if you get LeBron, he wants Bronny on the team. I don't know how that's gonna work. I don't know if he's gonna want to go to the team that draft Bronny. I don't know. We'll see. That's my sound, man. My sound is good. Yeah, my sound, the bar's moving. Okay. Let me check on my sound though. Make sure I'm sounding right. But yeah, it's a lot of things gonna go off in this off season. You know, who do you think the Knicks should go after? Do you think the Knicks should trade Julius Randle for Mikal Bridges? Write in the chat. Let me know. Let's talk about it. If you don't, tell me why. If you do, tell me why. I like Randle. The only reason why I would do that kind of trade for that player because he's not gonna mess up the chemistry that the Knicks have with this crew. So, and the Knicks, one thing I could say, let me say this for the front office. The front office has been making decisions in that matter in reference to like not bringing in somebody who's not gonna fit as far as attitude, or if the player don't fit in the direction that the Knicks is headed or their vision, then they didn't bring them in. I think that's why you see a lot of players that came available that we didn't go after, and we always say, "Oh, why they didn't get this player? Why they didn't get this player?" Because they figured something out. And I think to be fair to those guys, we have to give them more of a chance if they did good already. That just makes fair sense. Like they're already running the organization and they changed everything around. They changed everything around. Meaning like they brought us from being trash to being a number 2 seed, making the playoffs every year. Even Tibbs. Even Tom Thibodeau. People don't like him. I wasn't a fan, but you gotta admit, he got these guys to play hard. That's not easy. Defense, offense, offensively, they wait for their ball. They're not taking bad shots no more. They got rid of players who's not trying to go in the direction that they're trying to go. You know, if you own the Knicks, basically it's a Brunson thing. So I don't think they're going to bring in a player that's better than Brunson or older than Brunson. Maybe he could be on the same level and they play different positions, you know. But an older player that may be better than Brunson right now, would that be good for him? I don't know. I don't think so. I think he went through that phase already with Luka, even though Luka is not that much older. Luka's been a professional since he was 13 years old. Let's be clear. Luka was a pro since 13. Look it up. 13. And we could talk about that. Salute, King Rip. We could talk about that. Look, that's the difference between growing up out of the country and growing up here. That's the difference. Porzingis, Luka, all them dudes was professional at 13. So the difference is, while we was going to school, they was going to play basketball for school. And in school, they would teach them, I'm not going to say the same thing we learned, but how to read and write. But it was basketball was the main reason why they was there. So when you look at those type of things and you see like other countries, not saying that they just did it how they wanted. That's how it goes. It's allowed. And in the States, it's not allowed. I mean, you're not sending your kid away that young. What is that, junior high? How do you think they have prep school, junior high? Even though now you have all these new things that where your kid could go and play, you know. But we talking 13, and prep school is more, you have to get grades. You got military academies, you got Oak Hill, you got all these type of schools, right, in the States where players go to. So the point I'm making, all these years players was failed off because of grades, all type of stuff. They couldn't just play basketball for their school. So when you look at the advantages that these guys had, you know, that's why you're seeing more and more talent come from that direction. Because as a kid, they was taught how to play. And I'm not going to say how to be professional, because as you mature, you learn how to be professional if you're in a field where it's needed for you to be professional. But if you get to just play and learn how to play as a kid that young, and you don't have to get worried about getting failed off and play for your team and play for the country and all that kind of stuff, that turned out to be an advantage for them guys, if you ask me. And nobody don't really discuss that, which is fine, but that's really how it is outside the country. Porzingis was pro at 13 as well. His brother was pro before him, so it was easy for his mother to sign Porzingis up. When you look at the stuff that they could do with the basketball, no matter their height, look at Wemby, right? It's because they had the ball in their hands all the time. They always played. They continued to grow learning. And I think that's the advantage that they have that we didn't. And when you break it down and you look at it, you just say, wow. So these rules was basically was implemented to slow people down or to hold people back from being successful. Like if he's a basketball player, right? I always said it makes sense for him to go play basketball. Not saying your kid shouldn't go to school, but if you a parent and you like, no, he got to do this for school, he can mess around and miss out on $100 million because you worried about grades in the college, right? And by the time he get those grades, that bag may not be there no more. And another good point is these NBA players, they hire somebody who went to school for these different managing, advertising, business. They hire somebody because when you make so much money playing basketball and it's so much players that want to earn that salary that you're earning or similar, right? They put in so much hours of training and working out and making their body better and all that stuff. There's no way you can do all that together. So it's a catch-22. The guys that stay in school longer, not saying that they can't get drafted and be good NBA players, but I think if they had a chance to come out sooner, they would have, to better their future in basketball, because their future in their mind is for basketball. So it's a lot of things with the game, man. And sometimes I like to talk about it and break these things down. When you look at it, you say, okay. But we still have some of the best players in the world with all these things that they put in front of us, all these hurdles they put in front of us. You know what I mean? Where they can fail you off. You know what I mean? All type of stuff that other kids and people it don't happen to them where they come from. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, back to the team specifically. Doncic hit some big threes at the end of that game. The same kind of way Boston won when White hit the three in the corner to seal it. It was anybody's game. It was a close game. And I know it hurt the Pacers because they could have won that game. And when you get swept, it's not a good feeling. I'd rather lose the way the Knicks lost than get swept. Even though Boston should have swept the Pacers with Halliburton going down, and nobody from Boston went down because Porzingis been hurt before the series started. So he don't really count, even though they're going to need Porzingis, I think, to win it all. But another thing, Lively is hurt as well. Karl Anthony Towns need him in the back of his neck. That was like the second time Karl Anthony Towns did something to him, and he didn't come back. And that's the kid who Moms passed away. That's the kid they got through the draft when they did the Knicks dirty. Lively, good player, man, good player. He was a rookie getting mad minutes in the playoffs like that. And Jason Kidd speaks highly of him. So it's like, you got to think about that. They got a good team, even though I don't know how long he's going to be out, concussion protocol and all that with the NBA. They're going to need him. He was a player that he can move on the switch. He know how to do things that conventional bigs don't know how to do because he's a little younger. He was taught, when you're a little younger, he does things. He does certain things for his height, for his advantage. But yeah, Doncic hit a big step back three. White hit a three. So these games, like I said, the Pacers and the Celtics and the Wolves and the Mavs, both of these games was close down to the wire. Great basketball, if you ask me. You know what I mean? I think the Wolves may go home after tonight. I think it's over. Mavs gonna come out hungry. You they know they got to get it over with because Boston is already resting. And now it just comes down to a rest game because when you look at how these players look, they're very good players when you look at them, right? But you see them leaning over. Like funny story. You seen Kyrie when Luka was leaning over and Kyrie went to him and put him said, "Are you good?" It's like, yo, I'm tired like a motherfucker. He said to Kyrie. Like, yo, I'm tired. And you got to think about it. Like, even Anthony Edwards is tired, bro. I be watching the games and I be like, this game is coming back on already. One day off, man. They speed in the NBA Finals quick. You know what I'm saying? One day off, man. Shout out Boulevard in the building. What's good, man? Yeah. One day off and you back out there. So we're going to have a great finals. Hopefully the Mavs finish it up. Because if they don't, they're going to be more tired and they may not be able to win and Boston may get a chip. Personally, I'd rather Dallas get a chip. That's just me. I don't know. Maybe because I like Luka, Kyrie, you know what I'm saying? I like their little tandem. They put a nice little roster together. You know what I'm saying? Mark Cuban, he going to make sure he find his way. They just tanked on us last season. Think about that. Now they in the NBA Finals, bro. You get outclassed. You got to know, it's like swag, bro. You got to know how to do certain things. How we going to fall back? We ain't winning this. They going to win this. Let's just chill. Grab somebody, spin the block. Dallas spent the block, son. Do you hear me? Yes. And we used to beat the Mavs all the time. But them boys spent the block. And when they got Kyrie, a lot of people say, oh, it ain't going to work. Kyrie this, Kyrie that. I don't know, bro. Look like it's working to me. And they got Jason Kidd. You got to always count the coach. Always pay attention to the coach. Who they coach. See what I'm saying? Yeah, that matter. He's a championship. He got chips. You know what I mean? He know how to do certain things. He know how to communicate. He's a player. That's important. So now they looking like, yo, that's J. Kidd. You know what I mean? Not some dude yelling at them and all that. You got to have a swag, man. You got to know how to communicate to your team and tell them like, yo, this is what it is. You know what I mean? So when you tell them with the swag and respectfully, right, they're going to go and do what you ask them. But if you, yo, man, well, you can't even do this right. You doing that type of coaching, it's not going to work. You're not getting a chip with that. I'm not saying you may not do better because some teams need a coach that's just like Thibodeau, just yelling all the time. Like, you don't know if he's happy. You never can tell Tibbs move. Like, he's always the same. He's always standing there with his arms folded all the way over there away from his team. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. But J. Kidd might get another ring, man. Shout out to those guys, man. You know what I'm saying? I like the way they play. And when you're watching the game, right, in the playoffs, it intensifies so much. When you play ball, you could try to go downhill all you want, but you still got to figure out the right move or the right play to make. It's not always going to be the bucket. It's not always going to be a layup. It could be a pull-up, maybe a kick to the corner. But, man, the defensive pressure, the downhill, dudes falling. Dude foot went up. I think it was dude from the Pacers with the braids. I don't want to call his name wrong. He put his foot up the other way, backwards, kicked Pritchard all in his face and his eye. Dude must weigh about a size 18. Pritchard's lip was bleeding. He had a knot of hair. His whole foot, son. It's serious, bro. Good playoff basketball, man. That's all I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? I love watching good games, competitive nature. Good sportsmanship, you know what I mean? Shout out to those guys, man. Boston. The Pacers, too. They tried to fight. You got to give them dudes some credit. Halliburton went down. Nimrod stepped right up. Give him his props. That boy going to be good. Remember, he doing that against Drew Holiday. Obi played good. What's my man name? Siakam played good. Even the other boy played all right. The dude that used to be on the Celtics that was guarding Tatum. Even though he's a bum, but he played all right. Yeah, man, shout out to those guys, man. Congratulations to the Mavs, Western Conference Finals. Oh, no, they didn't get that yet. Excuse me. Congratulations to the Celtics. I'm predicting that the Mavs going to close it out, but you never know. You know what I'm saying? I seen the skit when they were, I don't even know if that skit is real, but they were saying they was asking, Luca brought up the fact that why they keep comparing Anthony Edwards to Jordan. And I think once they start comparing you to somebody like that, I mean, he's still playing at a high level. You know what I mean? You can't do it by yourself. That one I don't really know. I think even with Jordan, people don't remember he had to grow. He had to really become Mike. And I think they just put too much pressure on Ant-Man too soon to compare him to one of the greatest of all times. And when you think about that statement, that's kind of crazy. Like, you know, Ant-Man is a great basketball player. Just give the kid some time. And even though you comparing him to Mike, still give the kid some time. All right, so moving right along, you want to jump into that conversation about the Knicks. What should the Knicks do in the offseason? Should we pick somebody out the draft? What do you think? Do you think the Knicks should pick somebody out of this draft or trade their pick? Let me know in the chat. Another thing I want to ask you guys. Do you think the Knicks should move Julius Randle for Mikal Bridges? Is news surfacing that they are looking to move Randle in a 3-team trade with Atlanta Hawks getting Trae Young. No, I said that wrong. My bad. The Atlanta Hawks getting Julius Randle and the Brooklyn Nets getting Trae Young and the New York Knicks getting Mikal Bridges. Write in the chat and let me know what you think about that. Do you think Mikal Bridges would be a better fit than Julius Randle? And tell me why. Me personally, I think it is a better fit. Let me tell you why. Number one, Mikal Bridges don't have a problem being the third option or the fourth option. And that's very important when you have a team like this that just came off of this type of run without Randle. So you have to ask yourself, and I said this on another show, right? On my last episode when I talked about Randle. You may say, oh, Randle's 20 and 10, but sometimes you have to take a player that could give you less than 20, but he's gonna put his efforts and fill up other parts of the game. Like he's gonna rebound when he's not scoring. He's gonna play defense. He's gonna do all these kind of things. So he still may get 20, but he may average 12, 13. Right? The difference in points he's going to give you in other ways. Remember, the way we're playing, it can't be more than one person being a ball stopper. It can't be more than one person wanting the ball and saying, get out the way. So we know we got JB doing that. Is Randle going to switch his game now to be this type of player that I'm saying we could bring in and trade for Randle, like a Mikal Bridges? We know Mikal Bridges isn't better than Randle right now. Could he be better than Randle? We don't know. Because he had a quick start in his career. And he shoots the ball. Randle didn't shoot the ball early in his career. Let's be clear. And Mikal Bridges has height. So we don't know. To be fair. And he had a lot of work to do too. Even though Randle started to receive his accolades late in his career, like all NBA and his All-Stars. But he's still with his achievements. And it's harder to achieve them late in your career than it is easy in your career. So, you know, do we want Mikal Bridges over Randle? Or who else is out there? He said the ball would move better. Boulevard said. Yeah, I think so. The ball would see Boulevard, look, the ball is moving right now. right? If the ball is moving right now, why would you want to? If we had success off of ball movement, because before I used to say this, me and L used to say, "Yo, if players that aren't the best on the team get some touches, then they're gonna play better on defense. They're gonna hustle for the ball, all type of stuff that these players would do that they probably won't do if they're not really in the game." And I think with Randall back in the equation, it will take away a lot of ball touches for some other people that help tremendously, like Hart, you know. But I still think if we had Randall, that Josh Hart could come off the bench for Randall. If Randall would just play the way we need him to play. Just pass it if the pass is there, shoot it if the shot is there. And when you get at a certain point in your career, right, you got to dumb it down a little bit. So I think that would be perfect for Randall, if you ask me on another take on it. It would be kind of good for Randall because he's not going to always be able to do what he's been doing right now, bro. And I think a lot of people used to say what Randall's doing is not sustainable. So they didn't guard him a certain way, which worked out better for him. But that's not always going to be the case. Now, he always drawing double teams and stuff like that now because they know that, he turned into a lethal scorer, a potent in the paint. He can hit the dribble. He passes the ball. So what's really the problem? You see what I'm saying? So it's ego, or it's what's the problem with Randall? And even I seen a video with Kevin Garnett, and Kevin Garnett was saying he don't understand why people do that to Randall. And I was trying to take a step back and just see from his point of view, like, what he mean by that? Everybody's entitled to their own opinion on what they think about a player, right? But I said to myself, he's a great NBA player. So you can't just brush off what he's saying like he's just anybody saying it. And people don't think like that, but I do. Believe it or not, I do. So I was like, he's right. He's right. He's right. He said Randall could fit. He said he liked Randall for the Knicks. Don't change a thing. He's right. He's right. The only part that he may not be right about, and he didn't speak about this part, was the mental part about with Randall. And that would have to be a whole conversation about him. You see what I'm saying? The thumbs down, yelling that quickly. Different things he did would make me say mental, the mental piece of it with Randall. Not his ability. He proved everybody wrong with that. Let's just be fair and say that. Because if you saying he can't do this, he can't do that, you probably kind of hate it. Because he's an all-star and he made all NBA before he got hurt. So even if you want to move him, be fair about it. Don't act like son ain't good. All right, Boulevard, be safe. So write in the chat, let me know what you think. If you're new here, you never saw my show, For the Love of the Game, Hard Will's the name. Hit the subscribe button. Get familiar with your boy, you heard? Putting out a lot of short memes. You know what I mean? We bringing out the funny side. I'll be over here dying, laughing. So I said I might as well share some content like this. So it's all good. But yeah, man. So that's how I look at it with the Randall situation. I think he had a time to sit back and reflect, watching the team and being at, like I say, he's going into what year now? 10? Chat, is he in his 10th year? He has to probably take a step back, right? Eventually. He has to say, yo, I'm gonna just take this role 10th year, right? Thanks, Boulevard. Yeah, he got to be like, yo, I'm going to just take this road. Because, see, this could happen when you do stuff like this, just like I broke down what Kyrie did. Randle's so dominant. If he fall into a role, he just becomes a better player. Because now everything he do is IQ and played out correctly. So it's like, you know you can shoot, they can't hold you in the paint. You know you got all these weapons. You could dribble the ball, you could get the rebound, you could push the ball, you could do all this stuff. You athletic. What could be the problem? Right? That's what I'm saying. So it's the mental. So if he get into a role and just, this is what I mean by role. They don't have to say give him a role. I'm saying that he could be in a role himself and just say, I'm gonna play basketball the way the game comes to me. For passes there, I'm gonna make the pass. I'm gonna play the correct way. And once a player with his much strengths start to do that all the time, nobody could guard him. Nobody could figure him out. See, a lot of players got so much to prove that you could see it when they play. If that makes sense to y'all. A lot of players got so much to prove, man, and they want to accomplish things too fast. Even though I can't say that about Randle because, like, he's in his 10th season. But on this type of team, we just need to play correctly and be aggressive when necessary. And I think we have something. So we got to figure out what we got to change, who we got to keep. A lot of pieces need to be moved. I watched the show earlier. I watched Freezy's show. They was talking about Mitch and Hartenstein. Mitch stayed hurt. OG hurt again. OG elbow was down for too long. I've been saying that. If y'all watch my show, y'all know. I've been saying, hold on, his elbow. Then he hurt again. Then I seen reports that it said that OGs will hear other offers from other teams, not only Knicks. So I was like, yo, I like OG, but if he stay hurt, I may let him go. I'm just saying, bro, like, why is he not helping us? If we had him healthy, I think we win that last series. Great pickup. But this is the other part those guys got to remember. You could pick up a player that has all these great attributes, right? He can shoot, he can pass, he can defend, but is he playing most of the season? Is he out most of the season? Is he injured every season? I'm not a Toronto fan. I know when I watched the Raptors, and I used to see the Raptors whenever I could, Son wasn't playing. So I didn't really know. I know Siakam was playing. And that's why the Pacers went and picked up Siakam. Even if you think OG is better than Siakam, right? Even if you think that, right? Guess what? Siakam ain't hurt. So opinion of you think this player is better than the next, they both professionals. And you may say OG's a 15. I mean, to be clear, OG could be an 8. And what? You want to say Siakam is a 7? He not a 6 on the scale of 1 to 10. So you got to be smart. Who's more healthy? Who's injury prone? We need to know whose availability is, who's always available. Things like that. It's very important. A lot of guys say, oh, I don't want to hear excuses about injury because that's part of the game. Dudes get hurt in the finals. Dudes got hurt in the Western Conference Finals last night. So it's like, it's crazy, man. So, I don't know. So, I wish the Knicks stick to what they're doing. If we move Randle, Mikal Bridges would be decent player to not mess with the chemistry. but his numbers could be a problem. Yeah, I like OG. I said the same thing, man, but nah. Availability is the best thing for me. Think about it. It's too many plays now. So you got to be smart. Can't just, no way. Mm-mm. Come on, y'all know y'all was pissed off when OG got hurt again. It wasn't his fault, you know, but his body can't take it. Think about it. He hurt his hamstring. Now, I know we all called it Charlie horse before. We all hamstring injury, but he was going for a layup. You saw that. He was running hella fast. He tried to finish the layup and his whole leg locked on him. What is that? What is that? I ain't saying it can't happen, but son always getting injured, bro. You gotta pay attention. You see Siakam flying up and down the court, and I'm just using him for example because they was on the same team. You see son flying up and down the court every night in the playoffs still. Next series, let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm saying, bro. We need those type of guys, like on the Mikal Bridges type of body. Dudes gonna be available, ready to run. I don't know. I had to look, do my research, and check to see if Mikal Bridges' injuries has a lot of injury. I don't think so. He may have been down one time last year. I mean, this season, excuse me. But besides that, I haven't heard that. I would have to check that out and make sure. But I think he's a decent fit. And I'm really, honestly, I'm not sure who else. I don't want to hear nothing about LeBron or KD. No. This is my thing. This is the rule, Knicks fans. This is the rule. If you ever try to act like we not it, you can't spin the block and act like we didn't remember you saying we not it, and now you want to join the team because we lit now. The whole city lit. The fans is crazy. We got the biggest fans. We brought out all the seats in Philly. Well, you ever seen that shit before? You never seen a fan base go in another arena and the owner had to buy tickets and give them out to the people, to the nurses and the cops and all the good people of Philadelphia. You know why? And it's not the Knicks fans' fault. Let me tell you what it was. The Philadelphia Sixers fans who owned the tickets, they didn't want their tickets. They didn't want their tickets. Let's be clear. They took that profit instead of supporting a team. They over it. Not saying that they didn't think that they could win. They probably knew they couldn't win, but they just wasn't supporting the team. That's all what that could be. The Sixer fans are loyal fans. That fan base is huge. Let's be clear. And now I'm hearing they going after Paul George. Even though Maxey showed up, Maxey looked good. I give it to him. Maxey looked good in the playoffs. Maxey looked good. Paul George, though? Nah, bro. Don't do it. I just like how the Clippers look right now, bringing over Kawhi. He's sitting out, and then come back and don't do shit. Who you know caress all them games, son? Please, chat, tell me. Who do you know caress all them games, come back and play with new braids like we don't know they haven't played all season and then stink it up? Bro, Kawhi, either you really hurt or you bugging out, bro. Because common sense, look, all basketball players know. Even AD played more games this year than he ever did. And he had one of the best seasons in his career, too. One of them. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the more you play, the better you're going to be. Kawhi Leonard, you are not that nice no more to be able to sit on the bench with New Balance on and think you're going to suit up months later and cook everything up because y'all got James Harden and Chris Paul, no, and Paul George. Come on, son. You're bugging. You're bugging. Ever since you signed with New Balance and you came on the court and played in them New Balance, you have had no balance. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. Kawhi Leonard might be over for you, bro. LeBron, look at him. He's older than you. He's still out here cooking shit. So Kawhi, if I was you, I would just say, yo, coach the Clippers. What up, Peter? Thanks for pulling in, man. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. I'm just trying to give some good content. Talk to the people while people working or driving or wherever you at. You know, want to hear about some good sports talk. Peter said, what about taking a flyer on Kevin Porter Jr. for the cheap? I know he got problems, but the kid is talented. 19.2 points. Yo, Pete, listen. He ain't got problems like that at that young age. That boy could play. And even though he didn't do too well when they lost, you know, they always remember when you don't do good. You know what I'm saying, Pete? They don't remember when you do good. That's just the world we live in. So people only remembering how Porter looked in that last series, but the people who don't think like that and know better remembers what he can do and will put him on another team. And I think he'll be a good player. You know, he was one of them players that they said was supposed to be injury prone, but he was growing and kept growing. That could have been what it was, but he's healthy, been healthy for a while. So that's a great option, you know, depending on what team he fit on. What team you talking about, Pete? Oh, you talking about from the Rockets, the one who beat up his girlfriend. Oh, I think you're talking about the other Porter from the Nuggets. I like Porter from the Nuggets. The one from the Rockets is a very good offensive player that had a very good season before he happened to beat up his girlfriend, which is very unfortunate. The only bad thing about that in New York, anywhere in New York, he will not be able to live that down that he beat up his girlfriend. And I think that's the reason why we never got Bridges, the other Bridges that's on Charlotte on the Knicks for the same problem, putting his hands on women. And the media in New York, they nitpick. They nitpick because it's about clicks. Just like, you know, people do things for clicks. Same thing the media do. They ask questions for people to say, who asked that? Or that was a good question. Either way, you know what I mean? It's nitpicking, it's clicks, it's news, it's breaking, you know, it's fast. You know what I mean? That's what it is in New York. So if you hit women, don't come to the Knicks. Don't. That's the last thing you want to do. And the Knicks not bringing nobody like that over because we could have got the other Bridges, like I said, for the low, but we didn't because of that situation, you know. And I think the other Bridges is playing good basketball because he had to deal with that adversity after he had that problem hitting his girlfriend. You know what I mean? And sometimes, you know, we don't really know what happens in them situations. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if the girl hit him, or even though you're not supposed to put your hand on no woman, regardless if she hit you, she a woman, just walk away. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna say call the cops. As dudes, oh, you call the cops. You ain't gotta call the cops on her. You know what I'm saying? Just don't hit her. Don't hit her back, because her hit may not show on you, and when you hit her, it's gonna leave a bruise. So when the cops come, you're gonna hear that noise. You know that noise, right? You don't want to hear that handcuff noise going on your handcuffs. You don't want that. So please don't hit them back. Just leave her, and that'll hurt her enough. Just she putting her hands on you. She care about you so much, especially if you ain't do nothing. Just leave her, and that'll be her payback enough. Because she gonna hit you again. You know what I'm saying? And y'all gonna be just a fighting couple. You know what I mean? So Nah. But who else is out there? I'm gonna have another show, and I'm gonna bring more players that into the conversation that could fit. It's crazy how we only could think Bridges, right? Not, I think maybe only because he's a Villanova player. Malik Monk. Off the bench though, because we building a bench with players like that, really, right? Because Dante DiVincenzo may start unless we get a better shooting guard than him. But Malik Monk won't start. He'll come off the bench, which is cool. I don't think that's a problem. Malik Monk don't have to start. I don't think he come off the bench in Sacramento, but he was injured this year. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Malik Monk will be an off the bench player. Then you gotta think the Knicks got Deuce. Deuce really stepped his game up. Keep it real. Like we can't just give Nimrod and them players credit that's young that they good, even though they made it one series further, right? Deuce played hell of a good basketball. Come on, y'all, be fit. Let's keep it real. Deuce McBride played great basketball. Yeah, we're gonna replace Burks, Pete. But Deuce is a backup. Deuce is a backup for Brunson. All right, Boulevard. Good seeing you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, Deuce is a good backup for Brunson. Being that Deuce proved it to me. Yeah, nah. He proved it to me. Next year, he gonna step up even more. Watch. Dudes that go off in the playoffs, it build them up. You know what I mean? I think he's gonna have a great season. You know what I'm saying? And then he built trust with Thibodeau. Like Tibbs already liked him, but he built trust with Thibodeau as far as like, Tibbs could like you, but you gotta build that trust with Tibbs so he could feel like he could tap on you, go in there and hold it down for me. You know what I'm saying? Brunson already got that trust. So I think with McBride now, Deuce, Tibbs got that trust. Like that's another thing I brought up on the last show, right? Like whoever we bring over, if Tibbs is still our coach, right? Don't y'all think he got to be a player that Tibbs want? And then when you think about it, every player that Tibbs want ain't the right fit. Yeah, right. That's the key part of it, Pete. See, look, when you can hit the three, you're gonna have more layups at the rim because the defense has to honor that you could shoot it. So you got to go out more to the basketball and guard it, right? Which gives the player with the ball in his hand to attack the rim and get downhill and probably get a layup. But if you don't have a jump shot, they don't have to be all the way up on you and cut you off by the time you try to go downhill to the rim. So I think being that Deuce got a better jump shot, he go downhill more, he get layups. The defense got to honor he can hit that, man. And I like the fact that he's shooting it. That means he got confidence. You know what I'm saying? It ain't easy just to go out there shooting and no guarding or playing for Tibbs and that boy can shoot it, man. For real. We got to understand. Deuce McBride has arrived. And he guards up. And that's the upside with Deuce. Yeah, he hitting the three ball is probably the next best thing. But Deuce guards up. And he don't care who it is. He's gonna tire some of the best players down. Help Brunson out. You know what I'm saying? If that player happened to be on the floor a little bit longer, if Brunson go out and Deuce come in, and Brunson already getting the best of that player, he may be on the court a little bit longer and Deuce weigh him down a little more on the defensive end. You know what I mean? I love Deuce. Who else? What y'all think about Achua? Should we keep Achua? I think Achua fits our style. Gritty, rugged. He ain't asking for a lot. You know what I'm saying? He cool with whatever the scraps he get. So that's basically how I'm looking at it with that. I heart great season. I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys do next year after this leap they made this year. You know, they kind of put the Knicks in conversation again. They kind of put us in a perspective, you know, with the good teams of the NBA. And they calling Brunson superstar on the rise. Marvin. Is that my man Marvin? I think so. What up, Marv? Happy New Year, man. I know it's way in the year, but I haven't shown you in a while. I think that's you. You changed your title. Good to see you, bro. Word. But yeah, our heart had a great season. Mitch, unfortunately, got re-injured. And you know what's crazy that I wanted to speak about? Embiid did a lot of like sucker shit, Joel Embiid, because you hurt. You trying to hurt people? Yeah, I couldn't believe it. And then he had the nerve to ask Brunson, yo, like, why? What I did? I didn't respect that because he knew what he did. But Brunson is just a cool dude. He like, yo, what's that all up, bro? Come on. I think Brunson be knowing, but he just he'll converse with those guys to hear what they have to say, and then go around his boys and be like, yeah, he said some bullshit. That was foul what he was doing, bro. You know what I'm saying? He knew he couldn't beat the Knicks, and he started just going into his antics. It's nasty work, man. Did that to Mitch. You know what I'm saying? We got to start popping off when people do shit like that, man. We got to have guys on there that could just pop. Like I told you, you see the Mavs got one of the Morris on their bench, right? Yeah, he's the guy that's going to run off and knock somebody out. Yeah, he can't play for him. He wasn't playing anyway. Yeah, don't play with us like that. You know what I'm saying? For real. Who's going to be that enforcer? Come on, son. And B should have never got away with that, bro. It was a couple things I ain't like. Oh, man, Pete, you right about that one, bro. Pete, that was a good one. And Pete, look, you see how Gafford look right now with the Mavs? They did an interview on Gafford after the last game. Some of the stuff he said, bro, I was like, nah, this guy's a good player, bro. He talking about like everything's a miss, or he just the betterment of a team. Gafford is making the team better, bro. He's a player that we can actually say is one of the reasons why the Mavs is going to the NBA final. It's going to be rare if they don't go, because I think, 300 and some teams who was up with this league went. So we can actually say, Gafford was a great pickup for them. Like I said, they picked up Lively out the draft. They went and got Kyrie Irving. Who knew that the Mavs was going on a championship run? Who knew? I don't know. Nobody can tell me the Mavs. They knew the Mavs was going to the finals. Salute Pope was good. I don't know where L at Pope right now. I think he at work. Yeah, Mavs, yo. I ain't gonna front. Mark Cuban is on the low one of the best owners. I even seen him in his interviews, and he was talking about how dudes smoke weed and dudes do certain stuff and how he deals with that. Yo, it's more people in here than the likes is. We want people to know the show is live. Can you just please go smash the like button for me real quick, or share the show for me just so people can know it's live? I appreciate it. If you didn't subscribe already, please subscribe. The channel is growing slowly, so I appreciate it if you help me help it grow. Or appreciate y'all. But Yeah, Mark Cuban was talking about that. He was saying like, you know, it'd be guys that smoke weed and stuff like that. 'Cause certain places is legal, you know, and they grown. He said, but they come in the hotel, the whole hotel is lit up. Dudes, you know what I mean? He says the young kids that come on the team that be like following that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? He like he don't care if people do stuff. He said it's how you do it. So when I watched the interview, I was like, he got that implemented with his team on what type of players he bring into his team, bro. Like he don't want that type of stuff on the team. He's saying like some people smoke. He knows some of his players smoke, but they don't come to the arena or in a hotel or anything with the team smelling like that. Because what you do at home can be your business. When you leave home, you don't have to smell like that. Especially if you're an NBA player and you're going to take care of business. I'm not saying you don't know that for business sake, but even going to the facility or anything with your team, that's kind of crazy. Practice or anything, making that much money doing that. And that's what Mark Cuban was speaking about. He was like saying like dudes do that, and he don't want dudes on his team that have that mentality because they care more about that stuff than the ultimate goal. And there's players who don't smoke and players who, you know, want to just win and work out. And when I looked at the players he was bringing to his team, you know, he want to win. So the ultimate goal is just to win. But, you know, he's saying that he's not sacrificing those type of players. He's not bringing over those type of players to sacrifice to win because that way it don't work. And I kind of understand where he's coming from with that. He said Pope said they role players stepping up crazy. Yeah, Pope, that's what I was saying, bro. Like the good thing about Dallas is they put players on a team that we know as NBA fans of players that these guys did this on other teams. Gafford, Jones, Kyrie, right? So they had to go to Dallas and have they same powers, but kind of dumb it down or mesh it together type. And then they, like I said, they went and got Lively. They got a good team, man. I don't even know who I'm leaving out, but they got a lot of players over there. Kyrie, Luka, what up, Andrew? Kyrie and Luka should have a cop show. Why you say that, Andrew? Yo, they get along though. He said, Kareem, he said, he used to smoke a ton of weed. He had nightmares. Who, Kareem? Yeah. Back in the days, it was like that too, man. See, back in the days, it was worse. They was doing other stuff back in the days, bro. They just didn't talk about it. They had that nose candy going on. I seen some NBA players talk about that. But the thing with the bud is, it's legal now. It's like even in New York, you know what I mean? Police would lock you up for trying to smoke weed in public. Now you see people walking down the block, blowing one. It's legal, fine. We understand that. But you have to respect the profession, the professionalism of who you work for, like the NBA and your name and your brand and certain stuff. And the kids that may follow you. We're not talking about a regular person, y'all. A regular person can do what they want. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't knocking the regular people because if you grew up in New York like I did, that was probably something that you just probably wanted to do if you smoked as a dream. Like, yo, just to be able to walk through this beautiful city, even though it ain't that beautiful no more. I mean, it's still beautiful because I'm from the city, but it's kind of doing bad right now. But just to walk through the city and be able to put one in the air and you from there, probably a dream come true for some people. I ain't knocking them. But NBA players, make sure you do what you got to do. You know what I mean? I hear players that, you know, they say 1 year, a few years, they offer them this type of money. Next few years, they not. So take advantage of the fact that this money ain't going to be here forever. You know? All right, moving right along, I got another thing I want to talk about. The Jaylen Brown situation with Kyrie Irving. No, excuse me. Jaylen Brown and Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith was on air You know how he liked to say something about a source just text me and said, a source of mine just text me and said, Stephen A., if you don't get your stupid little face looking ass, stop that bullshit. Yo, Isaiah Thomas came out and tweeted him, and then he got offended and said that Isaiah Thomas could have called his phone. No. No. We talking about you going public saying that Jaylen Brown is too standoffish. He's not liked. What did he say? He's like, he think he's too good. Yeah, he said a source from the NBA told him that. So I was watching, shout out to Gil Arena. I watched that show too. So shout out to them. They was breaking it down over there. And they was basically saying as well as like, it's true. You don't see Jaylen Brown doing a lot of commercials and stuff yet. But he's one of the highest paid players now in the NBA. So when they was breaking it down, what I was getting from it was that he may not, this is what they said, the Gil Arena show. Gilbert Arena specifically said this. He may not want all those deals that they're offering him. So the NBA source just basically saying something about him, saying he stand or he act a certain way because Jaylen Brown don't want to do them type of deals or he don't care about being in these type of rooms. So the opinion was being misconstrued. It's being put out the wrong way. Right? I think it is. And it's another part of it, the story. When Jaylen Brown was in college, he was one of the smartest kids. I think Berkeley, I forget exactly what school he went to, but very, very smart kid. High grades, scholar, right? The NBA, when he was going to get drafted, the team said he may not take the NBA serious because he got too many, or his grades are too high. Think about what I'm saying and what I was talking to y'all about earlier in the show, about how they put us in school and fail us off and tell us we can't be eligible to play basketball for our high school or college. This man got all the way to college, finished where he was at up to in college. I'm not sure if he graduated. I'm gonna do some more research on that. But the player now that they gave one of the highest contracts to ever said that he's probably too smart to be one of the good players in the NBA. Is that one of the biggest contradictions ever? Think about that, y'all. That's crazy. So all that was a part of the conversation in reference to Brown. And what I got from it was Brown isn't like that. He just is smart. Smart people don't want to be in every room because they don't think the same way a majority of people think, because everybody ain't smart. To be fair, I'm not saying everybody's dumb, but everybody ain't on his level of smart. So when he make his decision, we may not understand or we may not know why, but maybe he don't like. I think they said this on the show too, but it's just a good point. I want to remix it. Maybe he didn't want to work for Taco Bell. Maybe he didn't want to promote these bullshit companies. Maybe he knew how high the NBA salary was rising, that they were going to have to drop a bag on him soon. And he didn't need those little deals where he didn't want to be affiliated with those brands. We don't know. But we know he was classified as too smart for the NBA. You know, he was one of the first dudes to sign a Kanye West. He signed with Kanye West. Then he wound up getting out of that deal. But he was doing stuff like that. You know? So, shout out to Jaylen Brown, man. I know what I mean? I don't think you got to call him funny style if he's a little more quiet than others. I don't think it's fair to call him anything negative if you don't really know him. And sometimes dudes don't like to talk as much as others, and they like to do things a certain way. That don't make him less cool. Maybe he don't want to be cool with the people calling him less cool. That's how it is. When you don't care about what people think about you, and you don't care about being friends with those people, they make up a lot of things that they want to say about you, or to make people perceive this way about you. That ain't true. He got the Eastern Conference Final MVP over Jason Tatum, and he said he did never get nothing before. He was so shocked that they gave it to him, and I was happy and I was shocked that they gave it to him too, because I noticed he don't get nothing, and it's because of what we speaking about as well. So I'm happy that he got something, because the same way he waited and got that bag, same way he just play ball and keep his mouth shut and let everything work itself out. So with that being said, you don't have to be all up in videos. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be, you know what I mean? You don't gotta do all that shit. And then he was messing with Bernice. Like he had a 30, he had an OG girlfriend. Yeah. Sure don't got time for all that, man. He probably got an old soul. Shout out to him. But moving right along, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. I just didn't think that was fair for Stephen A to do that. He always, before I change the subject, right? I do want to say that Isaiah Thomas was just tweeting to Stephen A saying, if you're going to keep saying your source, then who is your source? So we could tell your source he wilding, he bugging out, son. And since you ain't going to reveal your source, you bugging and you wilding out, Stuart Little Face. Let's talk about it, Stephen A. Me and you, I go on the platform with you and go back and forth with you. For real. But yo, shout out to everybody in the building, man. Pete, hopefully you subscribe. Nice meeting you, man. Andrew, you already know. The Pope was in here. Boulevard gone. Yo, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. You know what I mean? Wherever you at. Trying to do more lives. You know what I mean? Make sure you go hit the like button in my short section. You know what I mean? Check out a couple things. If you're just coming in the building, we was talking about who should we move for Julius Randle. Do you think the Mikal Bridges is a perfect fit for the New York Knicks, being that he played with Villanova? Also, my next topic was going to be, where do you think LeBron James will land if he decides to leave the Lakers? Which news broke in reference to LeBron, or Rich Paul in an interview saying that LeBron is a free agent. So where do you think LeBron will go? You can write that in the chat. You could tell me why. You think he's trying to wait to see where Bronny go and just go to the team that Bronny go? To me, that should be corny as hell. If LeBron and Bronny go take over a whole team, bro, I'm done, bro. I'm done. That means LeBron might as well coach. Yeah, he might as well coach. He over there with JJ Redick, and they breaking down offense and all that shit. JJ Redick about to be a coach, bro. He might get the Laker job. LeBron need to coach, bro. When you look at the top of LeBron's head, bro, and I'm older than LeBron. I don't got that shit on the top of my head, bro. LeBron, the top of that man head tell me retire and coach. Sorry, bro. I love LeBron, but I don't want to have this man out here messing up his legacy, man. Sorry. And I know the Pope happy if he's still here. I know the Pope happy and LeBron leave. I know he is. I ain't got nothing against LeBron, but it's just probably time. You know what I'm saying? I respect it if you only play one more, man. That's just, I mean, nothing we can really do about it. We just giving my piece. But I don't know, bro. Like, you can't just be going to take over teams, bro. Teams already got their situation. But see, that's the NBA fault. If they let LeBron just pull up and now it's all about LeBron. He's not prime LeBron no more. He proved that at the Lakers. He's not prime LeBron no more. So why would you do that? And I think LeBron is a good fit for a team because he should be able to just take a role. He should be able to just take a role and still help because LeBron passes the ball well. But it shouldn't be give LeBron the ball in crunch time and all that. Make LeBron the third option. Yeah, man. LeBron could be the third option, son. Why not? Why not, bro? I don't know where he gonna end up at, man. Sure, we did a nice little live. Just wanted to get an hour in. At least we got an hour and 20 in. Hit the like button if you already didn't hit the like button. Don't be watching my show and you're not subscribed. If you doing that and I find out, I'm gonna block your ass, bro. Corny as shit. You're gonna listen to basketball talk and it's free to subscribe and you didn't do it. Yo, bro, for real. That's the lamest shit I ever could think of, bro. I ain't watching nobody I ain't subscribed to. But yo, that being said, I'm about to go and get some food. I'm going to tap in as much as I can doing these quick hour shows. Great conversation. Thanks everybody for engaging while they was here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay out the way. My birthday tomorrow. I might do a birthday live so everybody could shout me out, maybe cash at me. You know what I mean? The cash app is, what's the cash app? William Jihad. You know what I'm saying? If you want the cash app, send your boy something. We don't need it, but it's all love. But have a good day. Stay out the way, right? And make sure you drink your water, bro. It's about to get mad hot. You know what I mean? You gotta stay healthy. If you ain't working out, what the is you doing then? I don't know. Yo, Pete, nice meeting you. Have a good day, bro. Everybody else, do the same, all right?